Hey everyone, this is Jenny Garcia and this is a December daily process video, and I am going to use my stickles for this project, and I just wanted to give you a close-up of the materials that I'm going to use, and this is how it looks inside. I'm gonna have most of the items that I use linked below in case you want to check them out. They're affiliate links, you don't have to use them, but they help a lot. And I'm gonna use this Tombow removable adhesive to keep my number in place while I use the stickles. And I made this stencil with my silhouette and Cricut stencil material. You can peel it off and use it, but I was afraid that it was going to get too stuck to the vellum, and vellum is pretty delicate, so I was afraid that it was going to rip it, especially in those areas of the one that are very thin. And first I just had it in plain white paper, but then I couldn't see the numbers. I don't have the best eyes ever, so I just used this scrap piece of paper that comes with photo paper, and I'm going to use the washi tape to keep my stencil in its place. You don't have to use washi tape, but I'm afraid that it's going to move and get ruined, so I always pick a washi tape that rips, and it's a pain in the butt to deal with for projects like this or to use with my die cutting. This palette I got from Dollar Tree, and you can find them in the craft section. It comes in a pack of 3, and I'm glad that a few months ago I grabbed this just out of impulse, and when I went to grab my good old trusty palette, it broke. The tip broke. It was very old, so I'm glad I had this one. And 3 different shapes for $1.25. You can't beat that. And this is how it looks, and I'm gonna let it dry a little bit before I remove the numbers. And I used the removable adhesive, and a lot of people use this adhesive, the green one, removable, for regular projects, and I hate when I see people making cards or scrapbooks with it. It is not for long term, and it will fall apart as soon as you put it away. Make sure that the adhesive you're using is permanent, so your project lasts a long time, and there's a few different ones. And since I had my stencil out and my stickles, I just decided to put the product on this big tag from Citrus Twist Kits. And I'm not going to use it now, but I'm going to use it eventually. I love how it turned out, and that way it's going to be dry for when I want to use it. And what I did with the 10 was I did it, and then I did a bunch of other things while it dried. And I'm just kind of shuffling the stars inside the stars of the stencils, the ones that fit. And sometimes it takes a little while, but I don't mind. I really love having the stars there. And you can make, as long as you pick a good material. This stencil material was really good. There wasn't as much as I hope it would be in the roll, but it seems to be a really good material. And I like using stencils, but I hate cleaning them. So even though I love the result, I was like, this is so awesome, I'm going to use it so much. And then I had to clean the stencil, and I'm like, maybe not. So here is a close-up of how it looks before drying. And the gel has glitter, so that's what I'm shifting it. That way you can see all the glitter. And I'm going to set it aside for it to dry. And I'm going to wrap these lights around the number 10. And I'm using the Tombow Mono Multi Liquid Glue because that gold material is very tricky to use, very tricky for gluing. It's a very chunky glitter. I ran it through my Sizzix 4 times. It's very thick. It's almost, the back is fabric-like. And There you can see the adhesive. I'm a pain in the butt with adhesives because I used to be on the Tombow design team, so I really wanted to learn how to tell people how to use adhesive correctly. And the good thing about the removable adhesive that you're seeing that, well, you're not seeing it, but what I'm doing is I'm just rubbing my finger on the adhesive to remove it, and it peels off super easily. And now I'm using a permanent adhesive to glue my paper. And it's a good idea to use adhesive runners. It doesn't matter which one as long as it's permanent. To glue paper, if you use wet glue, it might cause the paper to ripple. Now I know that there are certain papers where you need liquid adhesive, like that gold chunky glitter that I use for the lights. And the lights are a dye from Spellbinders, and I love that dye. Also water. Oh my god, not water. Waffle Flower Crafts. I had a brain fart for a second. Waffle Flower Crafts has a similar dye, and I'm going to link it below too, so you can pick your favorite one. They're both awesome. So it's a matter of, taste. This one from Spellbinders also has like some bells that could look pretty cool in the same, design. And I didn't want to glue everything down since it's vellum. I was afraid the adhesive was going to show in the back, so I used my adhesive. That's the Tombow the Mono Aqua liquid glue. The Mono Multi is the green one, which is the best one for heavy embellishments or difficult surfaces. And since a bunch of these parts have glitter, I decided to use the Mono Multi liquid glue. But the Mono Aqua liquid glue, when it dries, is absolutely clear. So it was the best decision for the few spaces that I use on the vellum. And I had a few of these lights left, so I just added them around the number 10. And the over embellisher part of me wanted to keep adding stuff to this size, but it's already a lot. Even though it looks like the number and the lights, then you have a pattern background. You have a number that has glitter and a pattern, and you have a glittery die cut and the green against the red. It's a lot of contrast, so it's heavy without being over embellished. Although you can probably say that it's over embellished because probably the glitter was just enough for you. So there are certain parts of the number that don't have a lot of glitter, so I just fish a few stars out of the jar and put them around the number. I almost wanted to put a few stars with the stencil in the corners, but I just decided that a few scatter gold stars was enough, and part of me wanted to add a lot more, but I tried to use my calm down with the embellishments voice. And here is a close-up, and I love how it looks, and against the colors, it turned out perfect. I'm gonna cut that string on the middle a little bit because I didn't want it to fold when I close the album. A little bit of length is fine, but not too much. So now I'm gonna work on the photos on the right, which are photos of the elf and my daughter looking at the elf since she lives above the fridge. The housing market is hard even for elves. So she always likes to see what the elf is doing, and the elf lives with her puppy, so the puppy also does stuff. And she tried to make a smoothie that day, but just shove a bunch of Kit Kats in that little cup that she found at Target. She's a fan of Target. She's a Target girl. they know her already over there. And these little word stickers are from Pretty Little Studio, and I'm going to use this washi tape that I'm going to suffer when I run out of this washi tape. This is my second roll of this washi tape. It's from Freckle Fun. They don't sell it anymore, but they used to have these sales, these blooper sales with kits that were not up to their standards, but to me they looked just fine. And that's how I got my second roll, but they don't make that washi anymore. And I wanted to add something without covering anything in the photo. So that's why I just used a little washi and stickers and kept it really simple. And that's day 10. It was super simple because all my efforts went to that 10, and it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I didn't do the die cutting, the whole thing on camera, because it's pretty self-explanatory if you do it once. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.